To
Oh, also we record this. In case you heard the recording in progress. I don't know if you did.
I did.
I just heard it.
Good.
If anybody wants to introduce themselves and tell us which library you're from, that would be great. I'm Florence from Bloomer, and Bloomer is just north of Eau Claire. I'm with the IFLIS library system.
I'm Krista from the Rib Lake Library, and we're in the Wisconsin Valley Library System.
I'm Nancy from the Monarch System, and we're outside of Milwaukee. We're from Cedarburg.
I'm Catherine Schiffs. I'm from the Aaron Public Library in Delavan, and I am part of Lakeshore's library system.
I'm Annette Miller. I'm at the Tomahawk Public Library, and we are also part of the Wisconsin Valley Library System. Service system.
Hi, Claire.
Hi.
Hi, Claire.
Introductions?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Claire. I'm the Public Services Director at the Rice Lake Public Library, and I am the YSS Chair-elect.
Hooray!
Welcome.
Anybody else want to talk? Miss Amy, Nancy, Candace? I was hoping it was that Miss Amy. We're doing introductions.
Oh, should I go?
Yes.
You should.
Okay. Hi, guys. I'm Amy. I'm the Children's and Teen Librarian at the Sparta Free Library, way over here on the western edge of the world of Wisconsin. Do we have to say something specific? Like, what do we love about fall or something?
No, that was beautiful. Like, seriously, I want it recorded. It is recorded. Oh, by the way, this is being recorded.
Well, hello, Miss Amy.
Hello.
Well, I'll just start then, if
Mhm.
nobody else would like to say anything. Welcome, everybody. This is our last meeting of this year anyway, and then I am going to be done with my term as the director at large in December. So sad, but I'm really looking forward to WLA because we'll be doing lots of fun things there too. But anyway, welcome everyone to our virtual tour and YSS check-in. This event is made possible by our Youth Services section of the Wisconsin Library Association. Today, we will be talking to Krista Blomberg from the Rib Lake Public Library. Did I say your last name right, Krista?
You did. Good
All
job.
right. And Annette Miller from the Tomahawk Public Library. We'll take library tours, discuss programming, and discover ways our colleagues are dealing with the pandemic. Before we start, though, I would just like to read our YSS mission statement. YSS advocates for professional empowerment, collaboration, and innovative, inclusive, and intentional service. YSS provides a forum and resource for people in Wisconsin's libraries who share a commitment to serving children and young adults, their parents, caregivers, and teachers. It is a vital, dynamic group and welcomes new members. Just check the box in your WLA renewal membership application and you're all set. As we go through these presentations, please feel free to type your questions in the chat box at the right of your screen. And then they'll be answered throughout the presentation. And what I'll do is I'll just ask the presenter the questions as they're presenting. And now here's Krista from Rib Lake.
Hi, everybody. I'm starting. So Krista from Rib Lake, in case you're just joining. And I'm starting in the space in my workspace, or at least my desk space. So I'm going to flip my screen around. Give me 1 second. Okay, so this is my desk in the back of our workroom. It's not much, but I'm actually excited to have it because I didn't have one at all for a while. And we have a small library, so I'm going to give a tour of the whole thing. We do have a back room where we can put our lunches and get a lunch if we need one here. And this we had just for the last couple of years, and I love it. It's just great for organizing, mostly stuff I need for programming. And up here we have some of the bins. As I talk about our youth space, we had a grant that we received in conjunction with the Tomahawk Library. Annette, I'm struggling to remember the name of the grant off the top of my head.
The name of the grant?
Yeah.
Oh, it is the 2019-2020 WVLS Innovation and Collaboration Literacy Grant.
Thank you so much. And
It's
so we,
a literacy grant.
yeah, and so we did some literacy kits, and these are where I've been keeping the kits. Okay, so this is the rest of the workroom here. We cover books and do all of that kind of stuff. Back here, our director's desk, I share this room with her. Really, all of our staff uses this workroom. And as you come out, it goes right into our desk area. One of our staff members, you can just wave. This is Amy. She's new to the Rib Lake Library, and we're super excited to have her. I'm going to save the children's area for last because that's kind of a bigger focus for me. This is our adult computer area. We have magazines and we have a sitting area. And we kind of made a really cool table not too long ago out of books. And one of our, I think it's our director's husband, created that for us. So that was pretty cool. And these are all we have our nonfiction section to the left of me right now. This is our main door where people come in. And in the back of our nonfiction area, we call this our historical section because we have some really old newspapers from the Rib Lake Heralds that are here, as well as some digital copies that are from earlier years, and just old yearbooks, things that are historically relevant to our community are back in this area. And then some study desks. These get used a lot. People come in with laptops, or if they have any virtual meetings and they need good Wi-Fi, they often come back here as well. And then since I'm outside, I'm gonna show you, we have I'm gonna switch it around to me for a sec. This summer, we were able to put up a new pavilion or picnic shelter, but we're going to be using it. The library put in the money for it. The village donated the land, and we're going to be using it for outdoor programming. But then also the hope is that there will be the ability for the community to be able to use it at times as well for events, for personal events. But I'm very excited to be able to use it for outdoor programming. So I'm switching around again. Out our doors, our parking lot. And there's a couple picnic tables.
Krista, I don't know if you can hear me, but we're losing you.
In town, we're gonna have a little center out here for an activity that kids can do, and some little trick or treat prizes for their bags. And then coming back over, this is another area that is very friendly for the kids. Our village was responsible for putting in the playground quite a few years ago. But I do story time out here if I ever can, which this week I was able to do it. It was very enjoyable to be outside. Is everybody hearing me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. Am I talking too fast?
No, you're doing a great job.
Awesome. Okay, great. So then as you can see, this is a whole village building that we have. The village hall is here and the sheriff's department is here.
Yeah, see?
So
That's all
through that door on the far end there is the village hall building. And then there's a very far end community room. The sheriff's office is in there and the village board has their meetings in there. It can be rented out sometimes in the community, and bathrooms are down in that hall area too. So as you come in, we have a little back corner for our young adults. It's not very fancy right now. We'd love to do more back here. We just had this wall painted to add some color. We used to have 3 computer stalls here, but partly because of COVID and partly because of the painting job and some of our older ones fell apart, we just have 1 right now. Also, because of the painting job, I had created, there's 3 panels here that have different book quotes. And eventually those are going to go back up on this wall. That's where they were, but they haven't gotten back up yet. So couple of cafe tables. The kids, the teens use these a lot with their laptops. And we have a big TV. So sometimes we'll do a movie night down in this area. We'll just bring some chairs. It's not real huge, but we don't have a huge community and attendance usually is pretty low anyway. So this is teen books along the back wall. I'll try to go a little slower here. I think I'm moving fast. And then this wall. And then the spinners are the young adults as well. But all these stacks are adult fiction books. So.
How big is the building?
I don't know square footage. I'm not entirely sure.
Is it a new building or renovated?
No, this whole building was the elementary school for years.
Oh,
And they built a new elementary school. And so the village decided to buy this. And then the library had a small building that was really needing to be more space. And so the library was able to become part of this building. So it was a really good thing for our community because we have so much more space here.
Oh, nice.
and
have
Chris,
all of-
I have another question for you too.
Yeah.
What is Rib Lake's service population?
was gonna ask
1800.
that
I
too.
do know this. It's 1800.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. This is also where we have our DVDs. And again, I'm right back up by our front desk. Sorry. You guys are probably getting dizzy how fast I'm moving. We have a book drop up here.
Krista, the square footage is 5,093.
Oh, Amy just told me our square footage. Now, is that the building or our
Thank you.
library?
It's from the annual report, so I assume
Oh.
it's just the library.
Our square footage is 5,093, and thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the children's space here. So we're over to this left little corner, and I use this table a lot for programming, for our programs. I also this year have been pulling over another table just so that I can space people out because we do in-person story time. And so I use this space to bring the extra table for that time. And that lets me put more space in between our family groups that come. So we have this little cubby. And again, this whole space has been renovated in the last 2 years. And that was really thanks very much to the grant. We had a local artist who was able to create this mural for us. I asked her to make it bilingual, colorful, to use the 5 literacy tools, the talk, sing, play, read, write. And then she created this and painted it on the wall, and it's been
Beautiful.
really, really wonderful.
Beautiful.
Just
We love
beautiful.
it. And yeah, there's some aspect of like, there's pencils for writing, there's the cowboy with the guitar representing singing, and there's just a lot of representation there. We have a little reading cubby that we had this before, but we were able to recover the cushion and bring in some colorful pillows to really give it a fresh look. You'll see on here, we have these little wooden things that you're probably like, what is that? And we bought a folk manus puppet to coordinate with each of the 5 animals in the mural. But the puppets are not out right now because of COVID, and just the difficulty of trying to clean them. We have a shelf down here that we tried to improve our bilingual collection. And so that was something, as part of the grant, I purchased more bilingual books, specifically Spanish, because we have more Spanish speaking people in our area. Bought the little couch or little chair. And then this side right here is our nonfiction collection. That's hardcover. And on the other side here is our nonfiction collection. That's paperback on the one side, paperback fiction on the other side there. We got this nice big colorful rug on the floor, and got the lights that hang down that are colorful. Actually kind of fun. They light up. So we had that done, and as part of it, the grant. Okay, so there's a space dedicated to each of the 5 literacy tools. And so this is our music wall. So for sing,
Wow.
this is probably my favorite thing we did, I think, besides the mural. We got 2 sets of boom whackers, which we do check out. They're easy enough to wipe down and clean, and so people can actually check those out, but the rest just stays there. And before COVID even, I had thought to do this, and now it's very useful. I have it rolled up right now. Usually it is rolled down. It's on a window rod, and so I can pull the whole thing down over the wall to close it. There's a lot to clean, you can see, so I want to make sure that between kids who use it, it gets clean. So if somebody requests to use the wall, I'll roll it up, and then when they leave the library, then I will just wipe things down, and then it's closed until the next person asks. You see it open right now, but normally it's closed and down.
Do you have on your website what you offer there? Is there a list of things you offer?
Yeah, I think that's on there. I know we talked about the grant on the website. There's some parts there, and it does say you can make appointments to do certain things, like with some of our literacy kits. They're not out, like we had planned for them to be out, like rotating and available for play and exploration. But we now just say you can make an appointment to use one of the literacy kits. And that way, you know, we still have the semi availability of them, but still be able to make sure they're clean and safe. So then our back wall is, we have the Let's Read Together sign, and that we created with the grant, and then this is our fiction section, and then play. So we had this structure. I don't know how I'm doing on time. Could somebody tell me?
It's 2:52, so you have about 8 minutes.
Okay, good. Okay. So I'm almost done. So this is our play structure, and it had an old cover on it that was faded and everything. So I just got these sheets and curtains and made a new one. And there's a little chair in there. Again, some of our literacy kits were meant to be able to use in this. We have like a grocery store one and some dress up and pretend things and costumes. And they're out if somebody requests it and makes an appointment to do it. Then we've got the Let's Play Together sign there. And then the one last area, because the cubby I showed you, that was the Let's Read Together spot. This is our, I just pulled that chair for myself today. This is our Let's Write Together. So we have a magnetic whiteboard, and down in this little cubby, we have markers that the kids can use and an eraser. We have some yoga cushions that are meant to kind of be available for here, but I have them tucked away as well right now. I'm gonna flip this around back to me. So that's our library space.
Beautiful.
And if you guys, I think you probably saw, we do have a couple of adult computers in this area to encourage if parents are here and they're on the computer, their kids can be playing in the space and they can stay close by. So that's a helpful way to encourage the parents to be close with their kids.
That's a good idea.
Thanks. I mentioned our Storytime program. I don't do a ton with teens, but this I've been doing this little tiny art kit for the teens this month, and I'm getting some returns, so I'm excited because then I'm going to do a little tiny art show of whatever they return for me. So that's the take and make idea has been one of the things that's really helped us get through and feel like we're still doing some programming with the people in our community. I'll show you the one that I have here that's been returned for the tiny art. So there's a little canvas frame that it's going to get put on, but it's just really cool what some of the kids, and I had them put their name and the title of their piece. So I'm pretty excited to get these back at the end of this week and be able to have a little show. It'll be passive programming, so people will just come in whenever, view it, and hoping to do a stick together puzzle in conjunction with that. So that's a little bit what our programming looks like, and I'm guessing my time is probably up, Annette.
Krista, how many take and make kits do you have a week, or or a month, or whatever?
It's more like a month, and we'll usually do like about 20 at a time.
Okay.
But they usually get used up. And I did 60 for the teen one, and I think they're almost all been taken, which I have never had a teen program that I would consider successful. So this is huge to me.
What did you give them in the bag? Did they have to use their own materials at home?
No, I gave them a little 4x4 canvas that had a little frame attached. Or they could choose a watercolor kit, and the art teacher I've been working with, she gave me the 4x4 watercolor paper to go with it. I bought just, like watercolor paints to stick in. And then, I got this. I'll show you back here. I'm moving fast, but you can buy, because I'm going to be doing this program for other ages. So these are like empty pots, and then we just have paint. I did white, and then the three main colors because they can mix and match from that: red, yellow, and blue. And so in the canvas one has the acrylic paint with it. So they could choose which kind they wanted. There's a paintbrush in there. So really they had anything they needed. I also put instructions, and if they wanted to make something else, they could do that. I just said that it should be tiny. Like if it was weaving or 3D art, like with clay, they could do it, but it just needed to be like that 4x4 size or smaller.
Nice.
And Krista, I have another question for you.
Uh-huh.
Would it be possible for you to write up a blog post about your tiny art show and your kits?
Sure.
Yeah, I
I
love
mean,
the
it's not
idea.
my idea. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Programming Librarian Facebook page, but that's where I found the idea. And they've had a lot of fun ideas to think through on that Facebook group. And I love that group. So I don't know if you guys have come across that, but it's been very friendly and useful and nice for just perusing great ideas.
What
you
was
can
it called?
It's called Programming Librarian.
Okay.
You can mention that in the blog too, and you can even just say like, you know, I saw this on the Programming Librarian group, thanks to whoever it was. I know I've
Yeah.
done that. And I'm like, I don't know,
Yeah.
somebody else came up with this. It's real neat. Someone else should do it.
Right. Sure, I'd be happy to do a blog post.
Thank you.
Send it to me, and then I'll make sure it gets posted.
Okay.
Are there any other questions for Krista?
I just have one. How many do you have for story time in a small community like that?
Right. And it started out just a little slow, but people were so happy to get back to in person. So what I've been doing is I require registration. So each week I have a Facebook storytime group, and also I send out emails to people who prefer email. And they need to either reply to my group or reply to my email in order to be registered. That way I know how many people are coming. And I have a little dot on the floor for each family group that's coming, and I try to get them spaced out about 6 feet if I can, or for sure more than 3.
Great idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so they bring a blanket and they put it on the little green dot, and that helps their kids kind of at least feel like this is where we're supposed to be anchored. And the parents are doing pretty good with keeping their kids in that space during the time that we're together. Then when we move for an activity to the tables, again, they are spaced during the activity time. I don't control what they do after, like checking out books and things like that. That's up to them. And mask wearing is up to the parents, up to the families in our library. We do have a sign on our door saying, please, if you have any symptoms, cold symptoms, flu symptoms, whatever, just call the library. We'll offer curbside service for you. So we're probably a little bit more lax, but that is how our library is functioning right now.
Okay.
I love that mural behind you.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful.
Did I
Well-
answer the question?
Yes. Yeah, other than how many, was it 10, 15, 20 people
Oh,
altogether?
right. This week I had 18. I was actually
Oh, it's
outside.
nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
5 of them were the parents or adult that was with the group. And I think I had 12 kids.
That's nice. Great numbers. Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah. Can I vacation in your library?
We
Sounds so
have a
adorable.
campground in our area. Lots of people visit. So,
I'll do one of your little mini art kits.
all right.
Krista, thank you so much for the great tour.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
And now we'll go with Annette.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Annette.
Okay. Oh, there. I didn't have my green box around my picture, so I wasn't sure. I'm Annette Miller. I'm the children's librarian at the Tomahawk Public Library. Next summer, it'll be my 20th year here. And
Woo!
So I'm sitting in my office right now, which I share with our outreach librarian. And I am going to flip my phone around and just kind of show you what the inside of my office is like. My office is located in our children's wing. We have wings in our library. And I'll show you that when I give you the tour, but it's right in the children's wing. So kids, I'll leave my door open. Kids, families can come and ask me for reader's advisory questions, which I love. So I feel very fortunate that my office is in the location that it's at in our building. But here, I'll let you take a look. Just a second here. Okay, this is my desk. Don't look too closely, but you're all children's librarians or work in a library, so you know that there is clutter and there are piles, because if there weren't, people would wonder what we do. But take a look at the view out my window.
Oh, beautiful.
This is the Wisconsin River.
Oh
That is
my.
a
Oh
river
my,
walk
right on
trail,
the river.
and that is our newly installed story walk along the back of our building, which I'm so excited about. So this is where I work. I think I'm the same as Krista. I don't want to begin in the children's wing, but I can't really help but do it because that's where I am. So this is what we're going to do. We're just going to start down here and then hopefully work our way through the building. But as I walk out my door, we currently have a virtual Lego challenge going on, and the people can submit photographs of their creations, and then we post them in the library, and it's been very successful. And it runs, it's a monthly program of Challenge a Month, and it runs during the school year. And then as I look down this way, I'm going to talk a little bit about the collection as I work my way down. We have added many things to our collection beyond the usual library materials. We have now floor-size puzzles. We have quite a few educational games. We've also added things like the Kiva planks and snap circuits, and we've created kits with different kinds of games and the magnetiles. Just because I think during this time, we've tried to make more things available to patrons to take home or have at home, since we haven't had any inside programming here in our library, and we really haven't encouraged people to spend time in our library. It's pretty much, we have just limited seating. We're trying to add more of that back. We've had limited hours, and we're going to be adding more hours again, but it's a slow process to come back from what we decided was our COVID protocol here in the building. So I'm heading down toward our space in the children's wing, which is sadly, very sadly, chained off right now, but you will see the bright blue sky and the puffy white clouds and the cabin and the trees that have been painted with chalk paint. And these are all components of our part of that grant that Krista told you about, because our two libraries applied for the grant together, and we received the funds for the early literacy grant from our system, Wisconsin Valley Library Service. And so very much like Krista's, there are a lot of natural components in ours. We wanted our space to make you feel like all the things that you enjoy outside are inside, because a great deal of the time here in the Northwoods, it can be cold or windy or rainy or snowy. And then it encourages people to come inside and families to come inside and participate in the things that we hope to one day have back out again, that will include those 5 literacy practices of talk, sing, read, write, and play. So hopefully soon we'll be able to have this available again, but we just, as part of our protocol, we just haven't gotten to that point yet. Something additional that we were funded by the grant was to create these board book bins that were crawlable, easily accessible to little people to just crawl up and pull the books out, because that's who those books are designed for. And so we just incorporated that into the space. Let me see here. I'm gonna wing around here a little bit. On our end caps, we have our magazines and our comic books. On this side of the building are nonfiction and audiobooks and children's middle reader fiction. And then to my left, over this way, this is our picture book collection. And then I'm going to head back up this way, which there's another angle of the office that Shanna, the outreach librarian, and I share. And then we come to the middle reader fiction, and recently brought together our emergent readers or early readers. That's this aisle here. We've added some of these cool phonics boxes this year, and the hooked on phonics sets to try to bring all those things together into one space in our library. And then as we get closer to our circulation desk, the DVDs are here. And you'll see some empty shelves and some empty spaces because we are evolving again and working on some new projects. So you'll have to just come and visit to see what those are going to be all about. This here on the side here is a small meeting room. And it also has our microfilm from our local newspaper and an obituary file. These are our nature backpacks. We have a wonderful endowment provided through the Natural Resources Foundation of Wisconsin to provide nature education materials at our library. And so these backpacks have been developed. They have different themes like amphibians or rocks. This one is a microscope backpack, but we have these for checkout, and there's another wall of them over here. And we're very excited to have all of these different things that we can offer due to this really wonderful endowment that we've received. So if I come up, let's see, I'm going to go this way. I'm heading up this way. This is our circulation desk, the entrance of the library. These are some of our fabulous staff. It's our assistant director, Allison, and our technology person over there, Diana. This, I'm gonna go right out the front door. This is our foyer, the parking lot. And then we have an entrance in the front of the building and the back of the building. So we have two doors. So I'm gonna go back in this set of doors. And then this end of the building is where we have our adult collection and new books along the wall here, fiction and nonfiction. And then as we walk down, fiction is on the left and nonfiction is on the right. Teen nonfiction is mixed in with our adult nonfiction. And all the way down on the opposite end of the building is our teen area. So these two shelves here on my right are teen fiction. And this is the soon to be revamped teen space. So we have exciting plans underway for this space, but for right now, it's just looking a little lonely, but we do have this complete face out, which is really wonderful. It's all the new teen fiction and nonfiction. We have it's a teen resource shelf, we call it. We've added a lot of interesting titles, self-help, development, just a variety of different things, mindfulness, anxiety, just all of the, just this resource spot for teens to come to with everything all together in one space. And then on the end are magazines and comics, teen comics. So, and then again, another angle out the window here. I'm going to show you the fire pit out back because next week we're having a Not So Spooky Stories program in the evening out by the fire pit. So this is a great angle to show you the space. We're pretty excited about that since we haven't had any inside programming. All summer, all of our programming was outdoors. We were very lucky to have wonderful weather to provide all those programs this summer. And I've been able to start outreach at the schools and a couple daycares in September and October. We did it all outside of their buildings. I went to their locations, but we'll be switching to virtual again now with the change of the weather. So, and this is just walking back through toward the circulation desk again. But if we take a turn here and go the opposite way, this is our reading room. And this is where adult magazines are located. And we just added some really interesting and wonderful Wisconsin themed artwork on the walls in here.
You have a lot of windows in that area too.
Yes, this is our reading room, and it's one of, I think,
Great
the highlights
views.
of our building, definitely. And then more magazines on this far wall as well. So we're coming back to this wing with our director, Heidi O'Hare. And this is our new children's fiction and nonfiction middle readers. The new picture books we keep on a table down at the end. I think I passed those at the beginning. So I'm just gonna step back into my space here. I'm just trying to think if there was any other part of the building. I think I covered all the parts of the building. Let's see here, showing you my otter on my desk. As I said, we aren't having any indoor programming yet. We provided a lot of to-go activity kits and things like that in the summer, and we currently have a teen Zentangle kit that kids can pick up. And we also have sometimes adults who are interested in those as well. And so, they're available for everyone. There are also some children's, like younger kids practicing your letters kits right now. And so we're trying to really provide things still that people can take home with them. Let's see. During the month of September, we had out along the Riverwalk that you saw outside the building, we had a search for the book character each week for National Library Card Sign Up Month. That was an activity that we did. Let's see. Oh, during Fire Safety Week, we were able to have some local firefighters and a fire truck come outside because, like I said, everything that we could possibly do outside, we've really been trying to, and we've been very fortunate with the weather, and we really have a wonderful space to do those kinds of things in. So I'm trying to think if there's something else. I think I'm talking fast, but I am nervous. So
You're doing great.
I
Did I
didn't have
go
a hard time understanding you at all. You were great.
Oh, yeah, and I was worried about the mask mumble, but we've been wearing them all the way through here. Our staff has, that's a policy that we've developed. Our library buildings policy is the CDC policy. If you're vaccinated, you can choose. If you're not, we would wish that you would wear one, but of course that makes it generally pretty much optional, I guess, is basically what it comes down to. We're lessening, like I said, we've added more seating areas than we had before. Previous, we had people sign in to use a table and it could only be for a certain amount of time. So we're adding more things like that. Starting in November, we'll be adding more hours. We hadn't been open on Saturdays for quite some time, but we're adding that back in again. So we're not 100% back, but we're making our way back to what we can handle and what we can do to keep our staff safe and healthy and our patrons safe and healthy. So that's our main concern. So yeah.
So does it feel like you had to cut a lot of your favorite programs when COVID came?
Well, like for summer, no, because like my weekly story times, my stories by the river in the month of August, any programming that we did for summer, it was all outside, and I had to cancel once and I was able to reschedule it. And we had, we had Tom Pease outside. It was wonderful. We had a local, a young girl who's a freshman in high school. She's a barrel racer. She brought her horse to the library and did a program for us. We had our local canine officer bring his dog and do a little presentation and talk for us. We have a little hobby farm family outside of town, and they brought a llama and a little alligator and some, talked about their farm. And we had Reggie come up from Anago and do a program. And then I did a weekly garden tales out by the garden near our library. And it just worked out so well. I was really grateful for that. And then the teachers at the schools were so welcoming. They're like, we want you to come to the school. We'll meet you outside. And so all of it you just really have to focus on the good things right now. And so I feel like our programming is going very well. And we have Beanstack going right now. Allison created a Wisconsin road trip Beanstack that's been very successful for families. There's the reading portion is read 12 hours, and you can have a chance to win Wisconsinopoly, and then you can additionally add in some great activities like taking drives to different scenic places around Tomahawk and around the state. And so originally we thought it was going to be an adult kind of base, but it really ended up being a wonderful family program. And I think, let's see, it goes from October 13th to November 8th. So it was during all the perfect fall season. And we have another Beanstack coming up in a couple months here, or I think we're going to start one in January, to tell you the truth. So yeah, we're just trying to keep connected. And I think that's the most important thing, is to try to keep connected with our patrons as best as we can. So
it sounds
What is
like you're
your
doing a
staff-
great job at that.
What is your staff count in youth services in the whole library? How many staff do you have?
Well,
Is it just you?
librarian, but our outreach librarian, Shanna, she's been working on, like, she did the Zentangle packs for the teens. And then Allison, our assistant director, she likes to do video. So she did the Lego challenge. She creates the Lego videos. So it's really, we have just a team effort, a lot of ideas. We just have programming that's kind of, the whole, which is nice, because I also do like all of the purchasing and all of the cataloging and processing and collection development for our library, for the children and for the teens. And so it's nice to have a whole kind of group that, we're just a team that does it all. So yeah.
Nice.
I have a comment here from Claire from Rice Lake. She said, Rice Lake is basically in the same boat as you. We do have about half of our toys back out, but no in-person programming yet. I'm going to our pumpkin patch next Thursday for a story time, and I am ridiculously excited about it. That sounds like a great program.
That's awesome. It's so funny, after last year, just hardly doing anything. It was just so wonderful, because that's what we do. We want to connect with little young people. That's, so that is exciting. Like, I'm so excited about this not so spooky stories thing that we have planned for next week. I didn't really think about the fact that it might be dark and I'm not going to be able to see the book I read, but I'll figure it out. But it's just, you really have to, like I said, you really have to find the good things, the things that you can, focus on and try to connect with people with. So it's been really fun to see people out my window doing the story walk. It's just warms your heart to see that kind of thing. So
What kind of holders do you have for your story walk?
those are actually Krista in Rib Lake recommended real estate signs, which worked fabulously.
Oh,
And then we just have corrugated plastic that you can cut it to size, that 18 by 24, I think it is, size, and it snaps right in there. And then we laminated the book pages. And again, Krista, a wonderful resource. I'm telling you, when partnering on this grant, I really gained such a wonderful resource and friend.
That's a mutual feeling.
She used Gorilla glue tape to put them on and it's amazing. It's really great.
oh, great.
So, yeah. Yep.
Because I was pricing out the ones from that barking dog and they're pretty pricey. We can't
Well,
get,
it would be our dream someday to have permanent, but for
Yeah.
now, we just have these ones that we can put in and take out. And then maybe someday down the road, we'll be able to get a permanent one. But
Mhm.
this was our start. I
Oh,
truthfully got the idea from Sue Abrahamson at a WLA conference, I think in 2012 or 13, that I wanted to make a story walk because they had done it in Wapaka. And it took this
Right.
long. And then Heidi, our director, she's just been here a few years now. She brought the idea up again. And I'm like, I was thinking that I'd really like to do that someday. And we made it happen. So
So what do
it's
you
really
affix your
exciting.
pages with? Is it like the post little post boards, or how do you affix the pages to the corrugated plastic?
With the Gorilla Tape.
Oh, with the Gorilla Tape. Okay.
Yeah. The pages are laminated and then, yes. So,
Great idea. Thanks for sharing.
well,
We,
great ideas are found from other people. So that you can
Yes.
thank Krista for that one.
I
We use
had
the
another
5
question too. Oh, sorry.
we use the 5 mil heat laminator, and that makes a really nice, it holds up to the weather. And I feel like they're in a good enough shape after 3 months out that I could still share them with another library. So I'm happy with the quality of that laminating for it.
Do you have that done locally at like a printer, or?
No, we bought it. We bought the laminator. It wasn't super expensive, and the pages, and we just do it here.
Oh, okay. Thank you for sharing too.
I have a generic question that anybody can help with, but did you bring your toys out in your library yet? And if so, how are you cleaning them?
We have not brought anything like that out, I can say. Not yet.
We have the music wall out, so, and a few small sensory toys. So we clean them either with the alcohol wipes that we use, like for wiping down tables and stuff, or there's a spray, and I don't know where it is right now, so I can't tell you what the spray is, but it's the spray that we use for cleaning. So I'll spray some things down with that but the reason we don't have like the puppets out is because I can't find something to clean them that I think is not gonna hurt them. So.
Does anybody else out there have a way they like to sanitize their toys? I've been using a solution that's half alcohol and half water, and that really seems to work well. That's what I've
Okay.
been using at Bloomer.
In Rice Lake, we have, and I'm not at the library, so I can't tell you exactly what it is, but it's like it's some solution that daycares use to sanitize their
Nature?
stuff. It's like it's purple, and you only use like a small capful, and then the rest is just hot water. And you just have to like dip everything in it. So again, for puppets, probably wouldn't work, but like for all of our Duplos and the train set stuff, and we have like a kitchen set. We use that solution about like once a month or so, as kind of a more heavy duty sanitizing. You just need to let it dry, and then it's fine. It's not toxic or anything.
We just had a meeting this morning because we are getting ready to, at some point, we'll have to start putting things out. And Heidi, our director, she said that the state daycare licensing or I can't recall the name of the department with the state of Wisconsin, but they recommend something called the Force of Nature disinfectant. It's non-toxic, so the residue wouldn't be anything harmful to kids, because I think there's issues with bleach or different things, even if you dilute it. So we're going to look into, we haven't done any purchasing or anything, but we're going to look into that. And so I just thought I would share the name of it because she said that she read that on the state of Wisconsin. I believe it's the daycare. licensing, maybe. I'm sorry, I don't really know exactly. It was just from my notes from our meeting earlier today, because we were discussing what would be safe ways and, you know, the best ways to take care of that sanitizing issue.
And
What
I'm
was the name of that
sorry,
again, Annette?
I'm sorry, I said I use alcohol and water. I meant vinegar and water. I just put half vinegar and half water. I don't use alcohol. Sorry about that.
I think that the vinegar is one of the ingredients in this force of nature disinfectant.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we use alcohol wipes too, but I'm going to write that down. It's called Force of Nature.
There was also an article from the ALSC, early childhood, I don't know, in the best practices for cleaning play and learn spaces, they recommend using the Clorox Anywhere hard surface sanitizing spray. But
is it the 4-in-1, this orange one? That's what I use also.
it
I
says
spray my
Clorox
train
Anywhere
table.
hard surface.
Yeah, this one says 4-in-1 disinfectant. It's a citrus-based one.
This one doesn't have bleach in it. So
Clorox Anywhere, what?
Clorox Anywhere hard surface daily sanitizing spray. I'm so sorry.
Is it the blue and white bottle?
So that was recommended, you know, by, like I said, the ALSC, but we're still trying to decide what we want to do, what's the best and what's available, because some of those things are not easily available right now too. So
Yeah.
I like your fancy wooden name tag.
oh,
Because you're in the North Woods.
oh, thank you. Yeah.
Mhm.
That
We
was
had-
great. I really enjoyed your libraries. Does anybody else have questions or comments for these two ladies? It was just a wonderful tour.
Oh, well, thank you. I apologize for my nerves. I'm talking to a bunch of kids that's not there, so I don't know.
You were great.
I thought it was awesome.
Thank you. And Krista, you did a great job. I knew everyone would love that mural as soon as they saw it. It's such a wonderful thing.
Both libraries were beautiful and very different from each other. So
Yep.
that's
Yep,
what's
we both-
fun about visiting.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome to stop in Tomahawk anytime, everyone. So it'd be fun to have you stop
On
in.
my
and
way
take a
up
look.
next year, I'll go stop there. I'll say hi.
Same in Rib Lake. You could make it a twofer because we're actually only about a half an hour away from each other.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Mhm.
Thank you
Okay,
for
well-
asking us to do this. It was really cool to be able to share it.
Well, we're really, really thankful that you two volunteered and were willing to do this. It's always really neat to see other libraries. So that's all the time that we have, unless anybody has a question, comment, or anything.
You can always email me or contact me, a phone call, if there's anything that you saw that was of interest to you. I'm very happy to answer any questions or share any information. So thank you.
Yeah, that goes for me too.
This will be
Thank you,
posted.
ladies.
I'll mention something on the blog, but it'll also be posted on the YSS YouTube. So if you want to relive the fun, share it with friends, have it playing in the background while you open presents for the holidays, anything, it's right there. It's ready and it'll be ready and waiting. So that'll go up with it within a week. It just depends on how fast YouTube decides to let me load things. Because when it gets anything over like 15 minutes, it's like, I don't know. Do you really want to watch that again? So we'll see.
Thank you, everyone, for coming, and we hope to see you at, well, the WLA conference is coming up. I hope to see some of you there, and we have other things going on in the library system, so hopefully we'll see you guys around at some point somewhere.
Come to the
Sounds good.
YSS social.
Mhm.
Come also to the YSS meeting, because for once it's not at 7:30 in the morning, it's at 4:15 in the afternoon.
Wow.
You won't even have to like roll out of bed and be like, I don't want to do it. So come to that too. That was it. Sorry, Flo.
Nope, that is no problem. Thanks, everybody.
Bye
Bye.
Bye.
for hosting. Bye-bye.